If you clicked on this video, then most likely you have already tried more than once to plan your day, follow a routine, and observe discipline, but over time, the entire strictly built system, for some reason, it inevitably collapses. So what to do? Is that every time we start life with a clean slate, we draw an ideal person in our imagination? He runs every morning, reads a book a week, does not procrastinate, eats right, and generally embodies all the best and most useful things. But this person is not us, at least not the one who wakes up tomorrow or even in a month. We have yet to become this person, but today, the lifestyle and thoughts of this disciplined mutant are simply alien to us. Yes, we like the result of the picture, but this picture has yet to be drawn. The schedule that works is not just a set of tasks for the ideal person that our imagination has drawn. It is not an overwhelming force hanging from above that must be obeyed. No, it is a reflection of our essence, of our values. Is what our consciousness and body are used to, fixed in a stable working system. A list not of what needs to be done, but of what we want to do. Intending to change ourselves overnight, we live someone else's life instead of our own, and therefore inevitably fall out of it again. As he aptly put it, Erich Fromm in the East has long understood that it is useful for a person. His body and soul should also be pleasant, even if at first you have to overcome some resistance. In a word, self-control should not escalate into violence. But how can you create a stable, working, productive system and at the same time not force yourself? So first of all, stabilize. You already live in a certain rhythm. Work, hobby, leisure, and yes, everything it develops into the lifestyle that you lead. It may seem very far from ideal and filled with piles of useless junk that you just want to end in one fell swoop, but do not rush. This system that works, and this is the most important thing. In his book, Anti-Fragility, Onsen Teleg says that complex systems, which we can confidently attribute to ourselves, are very unpredictable, reacts to changes. Simply put, if you put pressure in one place, something will definitely come out in another, but where and when is unclear. For example, it may seem to you that you are simply wasting time on social media, on social networks, or eating too many sweets. However, perhaps it is these few hours or sweets that give you a chance to recharge for more important things that would otherwise be simply unbearable. Perhaps to digest the daily shaft of stress that is exactly what you need, and your psyche protects itself. So all the elements of the system rely on each other. If you pull one thing, it will pull the second. One will pull three, and so on until the whole structure collapses. So in order not to walk on a tightrope every day, do not rush to change everything at once. You will have a very unstable position which is influenced by too many unknown elements. If you are already used to living in a certain rhythm, this will be your point of balance, on which we will lay something new and useful as a foundation. However, before introducing something new and useful, you first need to understand and simplify the old one. In the same book, Taleb says that the best way to cure a complex system is not to add something new, thereby only making it more complicated and adding unpredictability, but rather simplify by removing what already exists. In other words, get rid of the complex until you will achieve balance and add something new only when you are already stable. So first, write down what and when you usually do. You need to understand what elements your day consists of, what exactly you are doing. Then, very slowly get rid of something superfluous. Wait for a while, learn to live in a new way, stabilize the system, and only then introduce something new. Step 2, fall in love with what is usually disliked. The only reason we want to do something from time to time is that we enjoy it. We like to do things that bring pleasure. For example, everyone knows that it's useful to train, but I don't see a queue in the gym for why? Because it's unpleasant to train. We usually look at sports as torture, as something that needs to be done whether we want to or not. We don't go to enjoy training, we go to suffer. And since the body doesn't like to suffer, it just refuses to feel uncomfortable. So try to have fun. Try to look for what you like in business. Perhaps you will love the feeling of strength when a new weight takes root, or the feeling when blood rushes to the muscles as they heat up and become bigger. And is your state of relaxation after a workout? Can be anything. The main thing is that you like it. Focus on it. Don't try to motivate yourself with the ultimate goal. A beautiful figure is great, but being the owner of a beautiful figure and working out in the gym are two fundamentally different things. Our task is not to love the future body, but the process of training itself. Otherwise, we will inevitably slide, immersing ourselves in suffering for the sake of hypothetical muscles in the future. Find your feelings and reasons to love the gym. This is the only way you should experience ecstasy. Next time you will want to come back, and it is on this basis that all long-term habits are built. Step 3. Avoid cognitive distortions. Trying to become the best and set ourselves high standards for goals, which of course is good, but since we are just starting out, it's difficult for us to understand how high the bar should be. If we have never run, it may seem that 10 kilometers is a normal distance for a beginner, which of course would be a mistake. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. An unskilled person is very confident that he knows how to do it correctly, but the only indicator of correctness for excellence is experience. If you run 100 meters and it's hard for you, then that's enough for you. In other words, your maximum is not where you think it is. It's where your experience points you to. So if you feel like you're progressing slowly, think again. Perhaps this slowness is the result of comparison with unrealistic standards. Not taken out of thin air. For example, if you decide that running 10 kilometers is a good idea for a beginner, and you run 100 meters on the first day and 110 meters a week later, you will add only 0.1% to your goal. However, if you measure it in absolute terms, your progress was 10%. You must admit that psychologically, that's a big difference. In the first case, you have almost no success, and in the second, you improve your results very quickly. So, before setting yourself the bar, practice, get to know yourself. Do not set yourself the goal of reading 100 books in a year. Just start reading. Feel your pace. Understand that you can afford to improve your results. It's never too late to improve your results, but you need to improve them standing on a solid foundation of your own capabilities. They are based on illusions formed due to the Dunning-Kruger effect. Fourth, repeat one of the most recognizable concepts. We know from research that the more you know a person, the more you like them. The more often you meet a brand, the more you like it. The more well-known a corporation is, the more often you invest in it. The same applies to healthy habits. For example, most people do not like to eat vegetables. But few people know that if you eat them all the time, you start to like them. Start adding a piece of broccoli to your dinner. It will be almost invisible, but this way you will adapt to the new. You get used to the element of your diet, and now more than one dinner goes without this wonderful vegetable. And so that your daily routine works, first you realize how you spend your day. Then, slowly discard all the unnecessary things and leave only that which ensures the stability of the system. And if everything works out and you are ready for big things, complicate it. Just as slowly and gradually add useful elements. And secondly, start having fun. We don't want to do things that we don't like and force ourselves. It's like digging yourself an emotional hole. Don't get hung up on a goal that's somewhere there. Pay attention to the process. Find a twist in it, something pleasant, something that you want to repeat. Thirdly, allow yourself to relax. We are so rushing to success that we forget about the pace that we can maintain and eventually fall. Do not fall. Fourth, repeat. Sooner or later, you will start to like it. With this approach, soon you will notice how you are growing. You will literally feel like you are directing your own life. And this is the key point. According to research, the main cause of burnout is a feeling of powerlessness when you feel like you are not capable of anything, which is why making a routine doable and enjoyable is so important. Honor and good luck.